Yo, ratings! This is garthrs, the Tireless Adventurer, with another episode of Dwarf Fortress. A lot of people have been asking for it, and with what's going on in my life right now, this is a game that I can just pause and get up away and walk away from. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record me playing it, because I've been playing it a lot lately, because that's pretty much all the time I have. Right now, I do have probably about 30 or 40 minutes of silence, hopefully. Wife is homesick. Baby's upstairs taking care of her, so we should be good to go. So what we're going to do is, I've already created a world. We're going to go ahead and start playing. Anyway, Region 1, it's a large world with a very short history. That's pretty much the only thing that I changed. Come on, there we go. All right, and as you can see, I don't know if you're new, I'll go ahead and give you a brief rundown. This is the local, this is the region, and this is the world map. And as you use with the arrow keys, you can move around in the center screen here. Holding shift makes you move faster. What we're looking for basically is a good place to embark, because we're going to take 7 dwarves and we're going to conquer whatever place that we embark on. Now there's a couple things that I've been looking for, like one of these right here. That's right here, that's a volcano. This little thing right here is a volcano. I'll move it with my mouse pointer so you can see. Volcano. The problem with it is also it has an aquifer, which is pressurized water underground, and if you break through that, then you will drown your dwarves. And they don't get to win when they die. Anyways, with Dwarf Fortress though, the object is not to win; it's to take the longest to lose. So there you go, because there's no ta-da, you won sound. So that's what we're doing. So what we're looking for is a couple of things. First of all, we're looking for flux stone, as you can see right there. We're also looking for deep metals, shallow metals. Oh, look at that. Except for the aquifer, that's actually not too shabby. Right there. Sparse trees, though, in a warm environment, which means any surface water will evaporate rather quickly unless it's in stream form. Let's see. You know what? There's a search function. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the search function and see if we can find a good embark point that has most of what we're looking for. So let's go ahead and set that up at F. I like the 3x3 dimensions. It's a nice and small world. It kind of causes me to build up and down instead of side to side. We definitely want flux stone. We don't want an aquifer. We would like a river. Shadow metals, let's like multiple of those and multiple of those. That's pretty much it. Anything else, you're just going to really limit yourself. So this will take about probably 2 minutes to search the whole world. So I'll tell you what, I'll be back once it is completed. Alright, well, it is it's done. these little X's right here, that's it. That's all there is to it. It is there's not a lot of options in this world, so let's go ahead and look around just in case. Yeah, it looks like that. That's it. those few X's. There's few X's. All right, so we got this one here, which is clay, some soils, shallow metals, heavily forest, untamed wilds with a stream called the suicidal deer. That's weird. That's less soil, but let's look at if you hit tab, you can go through your different views. The first view that we have is our neighbors. You see there's goblins nearby. The civilizations that we can choose from, we can go down through these with your plus and minus keys and the different places that you start. I want to start from really far away, so let's go with that one. So we're going to start way up here. This is going to be where we come from. The next tab will take us to a relative elevation. As you can see, the darker the color, the less elevation that we're going to have. And the next tab will show us our cliff indicator, which means how many cliffs we're going to have. Like you see, 1s will be a gradual slope, 2 a little bit more steep, 7 or 8 will be like massive sheer cliff face that may be 2 or 3 levels high. So let's see where we're starting. We're starting right here, so we're not going to be affected too much by these, which means a majority of what we're going to be digging down is going to be flat. So I like that. I don't like the fact that there's no deep metals. There might be deep metals, or there might be individual deep metal, but this is just kind of a general consensus. Let's see. You know what? Let's look at the rest of these. There's shallow. There's deep soil. Deep soil is good because it gives me lots of room to actually dig down and create places for my animals. You see how there's not a lot of deep metal options here except for that one right there. Let's move around a little bit. With UK, H, and M, we can move. Let's move up here and see. Actually, we can. Might be biomes in here. No biomes. Yeah, one biome. And the second biome. One biome. Moderate vegetation. Let's go up here. Deep metals. Oh, we get a little bit of both of those. Oh, we could totally do that. I tell you what, we're going to go capital U, capital K, which is going to expand us a little bit, and then we're just going to move over too, so that we have a little bit of both of those biomes in there. So you can see this biome is going to have the shallow metals and the flux-stone, and this biome is going to have the deep metals. So if we're going to dig deep, we're going to be wanting to dig deep in that area. I think that'll work for us. I think that'll work. We got some clay, we got some deep soil, we got a stream for water, and defenses. We have lots of wood. Heavily forested and thick. Yeah, we totally got this. Alright, let's look at the elevation. Goblins, that's still our thing. Alright, now here's sheer cliff face. Boom! Look at that. 5 and 3. Wow, those are pretty steep. 3's not too bad, but 5 is, yeah, this is going to be an interesting embark. This is going to be an interesting embark. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's embark. You've selected a large area. Choose a smaller area if you experience the lags. Multiple. Not just one lag, but 2. Prepare for our generate careful. There's a lot of pre-mades in here. I'm using the Dwarf Fortress version 3411 with the newest Newb pack, the lazy Newb pack extraordinaire. Let's see. Alright, first thing we want to do is we want to get one guy a miner, and then in addition to a miner, he is going to be a leader. Alright, and we come over to this guy, and he's going to be just a miner. And this guy is going to be a woodcutter and a carpenter. And I'm trying to be gentle with my points here. This guy's going to be a mason and a building designer and a mechanic. This way I can actually, you know what, I could save points on this with the Dwarf Fortress. I can actually save points on this. So let's go ahead and let's turn off those, and let's just do that. Oh wait, let's just do 8 on that one. And we'll come back up here to this guy, and we are going this guy right here, and we're going to take him down 2 and down to 1 on the woodcutter, because you look at my points down here at the bottom, 124. That's all that's going to be left. And let's actually come back up here and get rid of this, a little bit of leader on this guy. A novice leader? Yeah, a novice leader ought to be good. We're going to get some migrants anyway, so they're going to have some fun for us. Alright, so we have a mason. Yeah, that's the mason. We have the grower. We're going to need, who's going to be growering. So let's give him 2 on that one, 1 cook, 1 brewer. That'll give him a little bit of skill, speed him up just a little bit. And this guy's going to be our most important individual, so we're going to spend points on him. He's going to be a proficient stonecrafter and a proficient bonecrafter. That's going to use a lot of points on that, but he's going to be where our money comes from, and that's very important. Alright, so now our last guy is going to be a fisherman. So he's going to be 1 fisherman, 1 fish dissector, 1 fish cleaner, and that will be him. And you'll notice that I've got a lot of points left over here, but I don't have many points left over here, because once again, what was his name? Zon, blah, 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 blah. Let's see if we can customize that. Yeah, let's give him a nickname. He's going to be our crafter. Actually, let me back that up. He's going to be a crafter. That's going to be his profession. Custom profession name. There we go. Alright. And I think that'll do it. Now, we do need at least 1 guy with appraise. So let's go to our fisherman. Yeah, let's go with our fisherman, and we'll give him just a couple of points to make him able to be a broker. Yeah, that'll totally do it. That'll totally do it. And we're going to, of course, customize him and call him broker fisherman. Broker fisherman. Alright, this is a boring screen, so we're done looking at it. Alright, so we hit tab and it'll take us to our items. We have 2 picks, 2 battle axes, 1 iron anvil, lots of beer, plump helmet spawn, which I always like to take that up to 10, because this is your actual seeds for the plump helmets. Let's see, do we have Dimplecump spawns? Let's take those up to 10. We have ropes. Let's take that up to 5. Oh, we can't take that to 5. Well, at 20? This is your cost in points right here. Alright, so but what we do need is... I think that should do it, honestly. We have 27 points left, so one thing I like to do that gives me lots of containers, you hit new for new item, go to meat, and you go to this prepared aardvark lung and you hit enter. And you don't add any more to that. And you just do the same thing. You take one grouping of each thing, because each grouping comes with its own barrel. So when the food is gone, the barrel becomes available. Just like that. You see? You see? It's planning. Okay. Armadillo meat. If you ever need armadillo meat, this is the place to come. Alright, we'll give ourselves one more... Hold on a second, I'll be right back. Alright, the midget wanted some blue chips. She says blue chips because she can't say salt and vinegar. She says salt and vinegar. It's just really funny. Now we have 1 point left, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and let's use it on 1 extra plump helmet spawn. And then we're going to name our group with capital G. Now you notice there's front compound, rear compound, first adjective, second adjective, hyphen compound, blah, 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 the X of X. That's basically what we're going to go for here. So I was scrolling through these with the R button. You can just make them random. The plated rack, the tender standard, the treaty of dabblers, the bell of furs. But I thought to myself, you know what would be really cool is if I selected this one and I go E and I type in rack, because I thought this was hysterical. And then you come over here and you go rack, the rack, and then you come over here of, and then you hit E again and you go I found this one. It was hysterical, so I am going to use it. This is actually this was actually an option. The rack of fondling. Yeah! Woo! That's awesome! I'm going to use that one. That's the best one yet. That was a random option. I'm so funny. Kill me. Kill me. Alright, so I think that's it. Let's see if we can name our fortress. Door blowing. I think that's appropriate. Let's hit R a couple times. The phased letters. Helmed horn. Rough tall. Let's see if we have... Let's see, is it... Yeah. Alright, so this is going to be... Front compound is going to be cleave. And the second compound is going to be... let's see if they have it. No. Oh, I like fortune. Cleave fortune. So let's go rear compound. Fortune. Singular noun. I like it. Cleave fortune. Gastastrom. That's good. I like it. Alright. So, I think we're ready to embark now that we've had our silliness, our silly moments. Now, I'm not taking any animals, which is probably not a good thing. So, actually, you know what? Let me get rid of a few of these because I'm gonna need stuff. So, let's take this plump helmets down to 12. Cave lobster down to 10. Aardvark meat, which I already have some of. We're going to take that down to 10. We're only going to have 1 woodcutter for now, so let's go ahead and take that down by 1. That's going to give us a whole lot of points. Let's take one dog, or 2 dogs that are female, and 1 dog that is male, and then we'll take 2 cats and 1 male cat, and then we're going to take my favorite thing to take, which is hens and roosters. 1, 2, and then a rooster, which is that, which gives us 1 more point for plump helmet spawn. Alright, so now we have 3 dogs, 3 cats, 2 hens, and a rooster. Now we're also going to get 2 pack animals that we're pulling our wagon, but I don't know what those are yet. So we're going to, those are random. Sometimes it's 2 yak bulls, sometimes it's a yak bull and a donkey, sometimes it's 2 cows, you know, sometimes it's 2 horses. It depends. It's a large animal. Could be a water buffalo. Alright, so let's hit E for embark. And hope that SoundSense doesn't start playing some copyrighted music. I do have SoundSense running.
We've reached the embarkment zone. This had better be worth it.
That's why I have SoundSense running, because I love the things that they do. Okay, it's waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. It's waiting. We're waiting. It's waiting. We're waiting. Boom. Takes a while to prepare the area. Takes a while to pick a spot for the wagon. Takes a minute. Watch my circle go back and forth in the meantime. Okay, we have 3 screens. We have the left screen, which is our region where we're at. There's our menu screen, and there's our overall map. You hit tab, and you can get rid of the map. Tab, and the maps are gone. Now, in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see something changing. That's, I think, has something to do with Dwarf Fortress Hack, which is kind of like a utility that helps you out. Like this here, it'll tell me everything that my mouse is hovering over. So as you can see, there's all kinds of stuff there. Scrolling changes the Z level, which I like. And in some of the key remaps, you can do that, but usually when you scroll, it makes your map larger or smaller. Now, we can also come over here, and you'll see that this is a soil wall. 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 This is a shrub. This is some light grass. Alright, so let's take a look over the map. And I'm going to hold shift and use my arrow keys. And as you can see, there's a lot of open area right here. What's this? Stone wall. Okay. Alright, let's go down a few levels. Oh, you see how steep the cliffs are? Alright. That's that 5 I was telling you about. And then here's our river that we picked out. And if we come up here, you'll notice that the river cuts through the mountain, but the mountain does not go over the river. So this area right here is a void in space. Open space. Open space. Let's go up. You can also go up with shift less than bracket. Oh, what are these? Wild Boar Man. F1 will jump to our embark spot, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to move down here and dig in. I think that would be the best plan, and we're going to dig in right here because I like this, the way this is laid out. So let's go ahead and we're going to D for designate, and it defaults to mine. If you're inside, if you're outside like this, it defaults to chop down trees. So you hit D for mining, D for mine, D, and then you just dig in, just like that. And right now it's currently paused, so let's unpause it, and we'll designate some trees, DT. And we're going to cut down these trees right here. Shift arrows makes you jump in increments of 10. And then DP is going to be our gather plants. And we'll come in like that. And we should have all that area. And everybody with something to do. Now, initially, you see we have our dogs and cats and chickens and over here at the wagon. I'm going to leave them there until I get some place to put all my junk. Once I get a place to put all my junk, then I'll bring them down. Alright, so we got a lot of soil. That's good. A lot of soil. So let's go ahead and we're going to dig right here. And then we're going to dig right here. And hopefully this is not all dirt. Or not all rock. Right into rock right away. I had to open my big fat mouth, didn't I? Alright, so let's go ahead and bring it up this way. And that should be dirt as well. And then we'll just put a doorway right here. That's 2 across, and a doorway right here. That's 2 across. Because doors will bump into each other, so you got to be careful with that. And we'll just use this as our stockpile and place to get stone. because you can't plant crops on stone. You have to plant it in dirt or wash out the stone to make it muddy, and then you can plant stuff in it. All right, so you see the cat running around. You got to be careful with the cats. I'm gonna make one zone right here with I to get rid of my cats, because I do not want my cats adopting people. Hit N for pen and pasture, capital N to assign the stuff, and I am going to put all the cats right there, because if they're out roaming free, they'll adopt people. And if they adopt people, they follow them everywhere, and they'll freaking get killed, and then your dwarf will be all sad. It's like, oh, my pet cat died. So I had a tantrum spiral one time that was ticked off by the single loss of a pet, and it was crazy. The guy who lost his pet was very sad, and he started having a tantrum where he was just like throwing stuff, and he would like pick up a chair and he would throw it, and he'd pick up this item out of a stockpile and he would throw it, and every time he threw something, every single time he threw something, it hit somebody else, and they would get really sad. So I had like one dwarf go into a tantrum, and then like 4 other dwarves went into a tantrum, and they started throwing stuff, and it's like they were in the meeting hall where everybody hangs out, and it just happened to be a whole bunch of idlers at the time, and it was horrible. I mean, literally within the span of 5 minutes, I had 15 dwarves in a tantrum, and then they started fighting, and then next thing you know, my military had to kill them, and when the other dwarves witness you kill a dwarf, they get really sad. So it was just like a never-ending cycle of pain and suffering. I just thought that was nifty. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put a stockpile, P for stockpile, W for wood, and I'm just going to put it right here so that people have a place to put their wood. Put your wood right there. And then everybody's going to come down and grab that up. And then I'm going to have another stockpile for food right here. And it's going to be a big one. And then down on the bottom side is where I'll put the stockpile for other things. Actually, I could probably do this. Yeah, definitely could do that right there. And I'll just... yeah, that'll be perfect. Dwarves never dig in a straight line either. They always dig weird. Like he'll dig here a little bit, and then he'll run over here and dig, and then he'll go over here and dig, and then he'll go over there and dig, and then he'll come over here and dig. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, I tell you. All right, with these little stone pieces right here, this is rock salt, which is good because it's a really good economic stone. If you hit your Z button, you can go to your stones, and you can go through here all your stones. Now, right now, I'm telling my guys they can use marble to like make tables and chairs and stuff, but I want to turn that off because it's actually a flux stone that allows me to make steel bars and pig iron bars. Hit tab, go over to other stone, and you can go down through here, and as you can see, rock salt is a good stone to work with because it doesn't do anything else. It's just stone. Cleave fortune, the rack of fondling. It's crazy. All right. So now that we got these guys here digging, they got a lot of digging to do, but you notice people are stopping their digging to go carry stuff. So let's open this up and connect it to Dwarf Fortress. This is actually called Dwarf Therapist, and this allows you to manage or micromanage, as it were, your peoples. So now we have this mason. Remember, we were going to make our mason a mechanic and a building designer, and then you commit changes. And now I didn't have to spend any points. Now he has no skill in it, but he can do it. So he's got 0 experience in mechanics, but he can do it. So there you go. And this one, I believe, yeah, there we go. So that's what Dwarf Therapist is good for. It also allows you a quick means of just like if I want to hover over this guy, it'll break it down for you. He's a talented miner. His traits is quick to anger, prone to becoming enraged, throwing tantrums, and going berserk. That's great. Often feels discouraged, more likely to be stricken by melancholy, relaxed, open-minded to new ideas, slow to trust others. His preference is he likes working outdoors and grumbles only mildly at inclement weather. Oh, that's so nice. But he's easily frustrated and hates things. All right, so next thing we're going to do is come down here. We're going to make a custom stockpile, so P and C, and then we come over here like this, and we hit escape, and then we hit Q for, what is Q anyways? Q is set buildings, task, and preferences, and you hit on the stockpile. You hit S for settings, and we come down here, and we're going to make it hold animals, furniture, ammo, coins, bars and blocks, gems, finished goods, leather, and cloth, and weapons and armor. So everything else will go into that stockpile, except for refuse, which we don't. We want PR for reference refuse stockpile, and we'll put it over here, just like this. And then we put one for Y for corpses, just in case, because hopefully we don't get any. That would be horrible. What is this dude doing? Oh, our broker is fishing. Our broker fisherman is fishing. You can see him. He's right here. He's fishing. He's a broker fisherman. And if you hit V, which will allow you to look at the units themselves, you see his current job is fish. He's a novice dissector, cleaner, fisher dwarf, and appraiser. So that's pretty good. Speaking of appraiser, if we hit N for nobles, you can go down to broker and pick them. Just like that. So broker, fisherman right there. And it'll put the people at the top with the most relevant skills. So if you go down one, it says no relevant skills. See? So you can actually pick your dudes by what they're capable of in here. Now with this is good. We should be good. Yeah, but with Dwarf Therapist, you can change your labors, but you can't. I can't toggle Spear Dwarf, or I can't toggle Appraiser. These are skills that they've learned over time. Attributes, strength. This is the new Dwarf Therapist that you get with the new pack. I'll leave a link in the description in case you want it. The roles, what they can do, what they're very apt to do. Like this guy, all his attributes make him a good cheesemaker. You know what I'm saying? Or make him a good weaver. Make him an epic weaver. So there you go. Is a 98.19 fit for this role. So that's pretty nice. I like this new one. And our animals we have agility, strength. You see as it goes down through here, all that stuff. But I like this one the most because it tells you what they're best suited for. Like this guy right here is best suited to be an engraver and a trapper and a gem setter. Which doesn't make any sense because maybe it was red. Oh, it's red is the worst and black is the best. Ah, so, okay, and that makes sense now. Alright, I was looking at that all wrong. So, 98, 39, 16. And I guess blank would be roughly about 50%. Halfway, as it would be. Alright, so let's go back to this. Alright, it's all dug out, which means my miners don't have anything to do, so let's dig them a little more. Let's give them a little more to do here. Now remember, we wanted to go this way for deep metals, and this way for shallow metals. So let's dig out there, and then we're going to do with a J, which is a down stairwell. And we're going to make a 3x3 down stairwell, and we'll let them dig that. And then what we'll probably do is go down one floor on the sedimentary level, which is right below the dirt level. That's where you're going to find a majority of your flux stones. So that's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Alright, now another thing that we can do if we have a lot of digging planned out. Oh, we've stuck tetrahydrate. Oh, nice. If you look in your stones, you come over here. Tetrahydrite is an ore of silver and copper. So about 20% of the time you'll get a silver bar out of it. Most of the time you get copper. Copper is important as an early metal. So you want to make sure that you have an abundance of that. So tetrahydrite is actually a good find. Now what we could also use is bituminous coal, or we could make coal out of trees. So either way it works fine. We'll let those guys dig that out. And there's a couple of utilities that you can run. Like right now I'm using a lazy Newb pack, which is this right here. About, and it'll tell you all this stuff. It's just a kind of a manager for your dwarf fortress, and there's all kinds of utilities that you can run. Like you can have DF designator, or story maker, or therapist, or embark anywhere. There's all kinds of like stuff you can do that will change the game. But I don't want to change the game. What I want to do is make it easier to play. So let's go down a level, and we'll go DI for up down stairwell, and we're just going to dig probably 4 levels of up down stairwell, which should work out for us. Our dwarves are coming back now. So let's go ahead and B for build, P for farm plot. We'll do the U and K until we have a 4x4. There we go. So we'll do U and K, and then we'll do another one right there. Alright, so that's what we'll do with our farm plots. And our farmer will come start building those here in a moment. So F1, T to see our items. Alright, there are no items left in the wagon, so I can hit X to remove that building. And then we can come down here and set up all of our... I can set up our zone to keep our animals in. Alright, so N for pen and pasture, capital N to set this up. So we want our dog. Use your plus and minus keys to move here on the side. Over here. I'm going to move on the side with your plus and minus keys. So dog, dog, hen, 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 yak bull, yak cow. Cool. So they're mated pair. So we can actually get yak calves. And then when you're done, you just hit escape. Boom. And then hit escape again because we're still in the pause menu. Some menus pause the game, some other menus do not. So that is always good. And once they finish tourmaline, which is a gem. Sphalerite. Ooh, sphalerite's good. Check this out. Stones. Sphalerite is an ore of zinc. And I'm fairly certain that zinc and tin make bronze. I could be wrong on that one. But bronze is stronger than copper. Which is good. We like that. We like that! Alright, looks like we got a lot of dirt there. What is this? That's the vein wall. Oh, I can hit K to actually get on there. Alright. So that is tourmaline. That is sphalerite. That is granite. Ooh, granite's nice. Granite's nice and strong stone. Let's see. Everybody should be done digging now. So let's... Okay, we went down. This is one. We'll go down one more, and then we'll dig. We'll dig up and to the right. We'll go 3. And we'll go 3. Just like that. So they'll come down and they'll start digging that, and well, everybody will win. Alright, so what do we need? First thing we need to do is build BWM, which is Mason's Workshop. W is Workshops. Alright, and then we're going to build it out of rock salt. And we're going to build a carpenter out of rock salt. And we are going to build a mechanic out of rock salt. And then we are going to build a craft dwarf's workshop right there. And we're going to build it out of rock salt. So now everybody will come build those. And they will not start to build things until the building designer comes over and does it. And as you can see, it's the mason. So he comes in and he does the building. Alright, they're getting all done. Alright, and they instantly fell asleep. Alright, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to A for add task on the workshop, G for rock, and then C for rock crafts. And I'm just going to hit R. Because that's what I want him to do for the remainder of his life. So, who was he? He was this guy right here. So we're going to right click right here, toggle hauling. Now boom, he will no longer carry things. He'll just do those things until there's no more rock to do it with. And that will do that. Now we're also going to need, oh, these aren't constructed yet. Actually, let's make 2 mechanisms real fast. AT for mechanism. And these guys are all sleeping now. Everybody's falling asleep on the job. On the jobba. Now cats will chase down and kill vermin. But if they're in a pen, they usually won't. Unless the vermin come in the zone. We're in the zone, man! Alright. So that was our mason. That was our carpenter. That's good. A, B, A, B, A, B. Let's actually one more bed. And then when the mason is done, we'll have him add 1 table and 1 throne, which is C for chair. That's the way I think. That's the way I remember it. All right, and we come down here. These guys falling asleep. And usually what I like to do, this is one of the utilities that I was telling you guys about, QuickFort. Let me go ahead and toggle that off. So we'll run that program, and I will show you how QuickFort works. Now, with QuickFort, when you come over here, you'll notice it's detected blah 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 blah. This should. I thought I could have swore I fixed this. All right, we may be able to do it. We may not. Ooh, okay. Yeah, we may be able to do it. So as you can see, to pick a blueprint, we hit Alt F. Let's see if that works. I believe bedrooms sectioned is what I want. Just like that. And this is what it looks like. There's a lot of, what are you talking about? This is basically what I'm going to queue up to build. This is going to be the bedroom. So come over here, and I hit the D key, and I put it right in the center of the stairwell, because that's, see in the tooltip it says starts at center of stairs. So there's a reason why I did that. And then I hit Alt D for playback. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it works. And Alt H, I believe, hides the tooltip. And this is basically what this does. Instead of me sitting there drawing this all out, I've found this to work for me, so I enjoy it a great deal. This may be screwed up because of the way I did. Yeah, I think I used 2 on the left and right, but that's fine. We'll have a little open area. I'm not going to kill anybody. Yeah, this takes a while, as you can see, but I've broken it off. I don't want to move the mouse, because I don't know if that'll mess it up. That would suck, man. But anyway, as you can see, there's sections of it that aren't connected. And the reason they're not connected is because I don't want them dug out yet. All right, I got it. All right, so I'm gonna remove some designations, and I'm going to remove these designations, and then I'm going to remove these designations, because I could have swore that that was different than it was. Just like that. All right, that should work. I don't understand why this is queued up to dig out. Oh, that's, I understand that. That's why. Okay. Because this was supposed to be the end of it. This was supposed to look like this on this side. Over here. That's like 100 bedrooms or some junk like that. So that works out. So now we hit that, and they'll start digging out. Actually, why is this not sectioned? Might not. Let's go ahead and cancel a few of these designations, because if you don't, they dig very weirdly. So we'll go with that way, and we'll get rid of that designation, that designation, that designation. Because they'll dig like this room, and then they'll run over here and dig this, and then they'll run over there and dig that, and then they'll run over here and dig this. It's just ridiculous. It literally is ridiculous. That should keep them from digging anything but this. All right. Perfect. Yeah, that's what I love QuickFort, because if you find a blueprint that works for you, boom, you're done. I mean, you never have to sit there and draw it all out again. Yeah, that should totally do it right. That's good. All right, so let's go back up to the top. Okay, this has been broken down to its barest essences. So let's go ahead and change our new hotkey. Let's change our hotkey to this spot right here. Capital H, F1, and Z for zoom here. Now, no matter where I go, boom. When I hit F1, it will take me back to that spot. So there you go. There is that. Okay, so we have beds. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 beds. Let's see, and then we want this place right here. Capital H, F2, Z. So this is our F2, and I can start putting beds in here. B for bed. And I'm just going to line them up here and make this little area a dormitory for now. B for bed. Just like that. We have 4 beds. And we'll make a dormitory out of that. Now it's going to be noisy here, and if you go into the Dwarf's preferences, you'll actually be able to see stuff like that. Like if you come, let's say V for units, and then you come to this guy right here, hit Z for his status, and you can see his thoughts and preferences. I'm pointing at the screen because it helps you a lot with that. You know, pointing at the screen right here. All right, thoughts and preferences. You come through. Has been quite content lately. He is She was woken by noise while sleeping lately. So there you go. She slept on a rough cave floor recently. She talked with a friend lately. She has complained of the lack of chairs lately. She has been satisfied at work lately. So this top little area right here will tell you how she is feeling right now. She's a worshiper of Domos and a casual worshiper of Domos. So obviously she's a casual worshiper of Domos. Citizen of the Avalanche of Silver. She's a member of the Rack of Fondling. She arrived in Gasterstrom in the 1st of Granite in the year 6. She has the appearance of somebody that is 60 years old and is one of the first of her kind. She is tall, muscular, and fat. Her teeth are gapped. She's a high voice. Her nose is hooked. Her nose bridge is somewhat concave. Her hair is russet. Her medium-length hair is arranged in double braids. Her skin is dark, peach. Her eyes are heliotrope. Ooh, nice. But she has bad intuition. So she's often nervous and doesn't handle stress well. I've got some really great dwarfs. That's all I got to say about that. All right. Yeah, that's what you can do. So, like, as you can see, if these people are sleeping in a noisy area, they'll get woken or awakened. There you go. Maybe that's right. Maybe awakened is correct. Ooh, look at all these. See, this is what I hate, because you find stuff like this, and it's already in a pre-designed wall. So you can either mine it out and build a wall to replace it, or you can leave it there. And dwarves actually like to kind of see the veins in the wall. It makes them happy. All right, so now that I have that, Q for preferences, just pick one of these guys, hit R, hit the plus or minus key until you get the size of the room you want, which encompasses all the beds, hit enter, and then hit the letter D for dormitory, which means if you need to sleep, come here. And then once these are all dug out, we'll move the beds into there. So F1 brings us over here. This guy is making those things like crazy. Alright, but those are done, and those are done. So let's make 4 more beds. 4 doors. And 2 more mechanisms. And you're like, what are mechanisms for? They're gears, basically, for mechanical stuff. That should be good for now. Oh, we need to queue up our preferences for our farms. Now there's 4 seasons, A, B, C, and D. A on this one is going to be dimple cups, dimple cups, dimple cups, and dimple cups. And obviously on this one is going to be, A is going to be plump helmets, plump helmets, plump helmets, and plump helmets. And that's basically what's going to happen. Each one of those fields are going to grow plump helmets and dimple cups, respectively. Alright, these are bracelets, crowns, there's a mechanism. This is a scepter, this is a table. There should be a throne around here somewhere. Is that done yet? Where's the throne? Is it still in the room? Is it still in the thing? No. If you want to know if something is still in the workshop, hit the letter T. It tells you what items are in that. So right now there's rock salt and birchwood. Rock salt has to be bracketed because that is part of the building. And the birch logs are part of a task, i.e. build the bed. So there you go. Alright. I think we got a pretty good embark spot. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we'll clip this episode here, and I'm going to ask you guys if you want a dwarf name. Put it in the comments below. In the comments below, and I will name your dwarf. I probably won't like give you a job preference. Basically, as I get the names, I'll add them to the dwarves. So, I mean, if he's like, I want to be a weaver, I'm like, and I never get a weaver, you never get a name. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and ask for names, and then as you guys put in for names, they'll just go to the next available dwarf, starting at the top of the list and working our way down. First come, first serve. That way everybody's happy. Everybody's happy! Everybody happy. And what I'll do over on this side is I will build out the dining room. I think that will be cool. I think that will work out well. And I can use Quick Fort to mine it out. Or to map it out, I should say. But definitely. So let's go Alt F or Alt F, sorry. Grand Dining Hall. Let's see what this one looks like. Oh yeah, this one's going to work out. Awesome. Yeah, I'm probably going to put it down one. We'll put it down right underneath it here. Just like that. So, Alt F, Grand Dining Hall, open. Okay. I'm going to hit D right here, and then Alt D to draw it out. Alt D. Go. Alt F H to hide that tooltip. And this is what the dining hall is going to look like. Which will have these guys digging for a long time. And this is usually good. In a sedimentary layer like this, you want your dwarves digging constantly. Because they uncover more everything. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And then this is going to be huge. Perfect. All right. So hit escape and wait, DX. I don't want them digging all that out. I want you to finish upstairs. Go finish. You see how they did? Oh, they did finish upstairs. There you go. Do that. They were like, yeah, we got it. Woo! But anyway, so I'll make each one of these a bedroom, and we'll walk you through that next time. Now, I know a lot of people are watching this are probably like, oh, I know what you're doing. Why are you talking like that? Like you're trying to teach me stuff, but I know Dwarf Fortress. But there are people who are going to stumble onto this who don't know it, and they're going to be still like, wow, how do you do that? How do you do this? How do you do this? How do you do that? And, I mean, JuryDutySummons has a great tutorial for Dwarf Fortress. It's a couple versions old, but it's still very, very, very much applicable. So if you want to swing over to his channel, you can check it out. I'll put a link in his description, or in the description to his channel. But JuryDutySummons is his name, so it should be really easy to find. If you do JuryDutySummons and Dwarf Fortress, I believe you'll come up with his playlist for the tutorial. So enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time.